Welcome to Lead Like a Girl, where we are empowering everyday women through our stories. I'm your host, Jessica Smith, and I began this journey by sharing my life story. Now, I've joined forces with my longtime friends, Jamie and Corlin, to keep this party going. We met many years ago as young sales girls in our 20s, driven and quickly rising to the top of our industry. As the years went on, life happened, and we all found ourselves in new companies and completely different industries, still striving for success in it all. Career, family, faith, fun. Now, it wasn't easy, but we never stopped moving. Get ready for our real conversations, inspiring stories, and our big life lessons as we share it all. The good, the bad, and the funny. Welcome to Lead Like a Girl.
But
she has all the tools necessary.
hopefully I do not. Hopefully I do not.
And she can make a great mixtape.
Oh, yes. But hopefully I do not look like I feel, because there has been something going around and I've tried everything I can to avoid it. And all these people have been sick and I'm like, I refuse to participate. Well, guess what? It's here.
You look great.
Yeah. Sore throat, woke up with a sore throat. Yeah. And nose running. So I'm going to try not to.
We're going to catch a cold over the microphone. It's like, it's
Yes.
called, you probably have the norovirus and it's.
Hell no.
Don't speak it into. Stop
that's
that.
what it is. That's the thing that they talk about. That's what they just said. That's what's going around. It's like,
Well,
Why are you speaking it into existence?
Yeah. No.
Don't put it out into the
whatever's
universe.
going around, I'm not participating
I
in
was
it.
just trying to give you a name so you could look it up and just heal yourself.
Oh, no.
It's like, it's kind of like opposite of Beetlejuice. You say it 3 times and it just goes away.
Oh, no. But I did listen to that episode, and yeah, it was great. Other than the Corlin you were talking.
Yeah.
No, but it was before. You didn't catch it the first time. Did you think they were just ignoring you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm like, there goes Jamie talking over me.
But your mouth was just like, and I'm laughing here to myself.
Because I can't remember what we're talking about, but I was really excited to say
Yeah.
Because it was a joke. It was just trying to interject a joke.
Shit, it was so good. And I could tell because, I could see that you weren't unmuting it. So then when you did start talking a few minutes later, Jamie's like, Corlin, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I might have to remember that and edit that out or leave it. I don't know.
I don't think edit the Corlin, you're on mute. Yes. But the other one, I don't think you can edit when you're like,
oh, because everyone else is talking. Yeah. I'm like on a old Japanese movie.
karate movie or
You're in a kung fu.
Anyway, so long week. What about your weeks, lady? Your long week, crazy week.
Did you have a THC drink? Like
No.
You're so chatty. Like you're like 1,000 times different than you were like 2 days ago.
Oh wait, I don't know what the name of that episode's gonna be, but yeah, no. Anyway, no, I did not. I'm
like
drinking
all
water.
Smiley and like, did you
No.
Did you
No.
win a lottery ticket or something on your way home? Like
I didn't.
Did
I
you
was
smell
home.
a puppy?
How was
Smell
your
a puppy.
week?
She did smell a puppy. Remember, she went to Chicago.
She has a
to pick
puppy.
up
You should introduce us to the puppy.
Yes. That would require.
Jamie, are you drinking an Ultra? What are you drinking?
No, it's like a energy thing.
Healthy
energy.
It looked like a White Claw.
So apparently,
it is
Corlin
not.
doesn't want to tell us about her week. Jamie.
I said it was really busy.
Oh, okay. She's like, that's
I had a
it.
good week.
All right, well, let's jump in. Welcome to another episode of Lead Like a Girl. And if you want to find us on YouTube, that is Lead Like a Girl Lab on YouTube and leadlikeagirllab.com. We have our new website. We're still working on it, but it is open and ready for you to get your Lead Like a Girl swag. There's some new things happening. And what, Jamie?
Oh, I did. I'm so sorry. So I ordered. So I wanted to test it. I ordered something. It is so easy and it comes so fast.
Oh, okay, because I ordered something too.
I don't know,
I ordered
but it was
something 2 days ago and it came today. Like I literally have it on my counter.
Okay, I need to check my packages because sometimes there's packages stashed in different places of the house, but I'm not going to tell you guys what I ordered because mine is really cute and I'll wear it like next episode or something. But find us on all social media on Facebook and on Instagram and on TikTok. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear about what you guys want to hear more about. I get feedback. And I really appreciate those that do take the time to reach out to all of us and give us feedback. But we want to hear, what do you want to hear more about? Today, I am excited. Thanks to Corlin. She thought of this wonderful episode. And it kind of made me think, Corlin, that maybe it would be a good idea to like once a quarter have like a book club kind of ish reading.
Read like a girl book club.
Yes. So let us
Great
know
idea.
what books, if you guys want to read a particular book together. I thought that would be really cool.
I love that idea.
That's great.
Yeah,
idea.
because I really want to read more. And so this one is near and dear to all of our hearts. Seriously, this is probably like the first book, I'm ashamed to say, that I probably have ever read in my life, other than, like kids' books when I was a kid. But so this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And can someone tell us why this book is so near and dear? And Corlin, if you raise your hand, you are not allowed to say the company. Why is this book so near and dear to our hearts?
Oh my goodness. I had a little bit of a walk down memory lane preparing for this, and
Yes!
I want to
You
show
found your
this.
notes? I found my notes.
Oh
Is that
my
your
goodness.
original?
This is my book, and it has it. So for
Oh
our
my
listeners,
goodness.
yes, this is the book, and it has all my pencil writings in it. And because when I read this book, I was of the mindset I don't want to mar up the book. I don't want to like highlight it or anything with so it's really light pencil with like little notes
Aw.
and stuff, and it has
Nerd.
my notes
I'm sorry.
from when
Nerd.
I was
Nerd.
22 years old and read this book. And so for our listeners, just a little preface, this book, Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz,
Timeless classic. Sorry, go ahead.
it was a requirement for everybody that was a salesperson at the company to read in your first month, right? Your first
Yeah,
week,
I think
first
so.
days
Yeah.
of being hired. And so we had to go through and read this book. And for
Yep.
somebody, I think for anybody, but for me specifically as a 22-year-old, young, green, don't know anything about anything, fresh out of college person, it was life-changing, this book.
Absolutely.
And just to preface this conversation, you should listen to this episode, go buy the book.
Yes.
You have to get through, it's dated. It was written 50 years ago or something like that. So I feel
Yeah.
like the conversation, the examples are a little dated, but you got to look through that and get to the gist of the nugget. Like if you want to
Yeah.
be a strong, powerful, professional salesperson, woman, leader, this is the book to give you all the nuts and bolts of everything.
Yeah.
That's my piece. It's so good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I call it a timeless classic. It's like that black blazer in your closet that never goes out of style and doesn't matter when you rock it. It's like you mean business. If you are a sales leader, actually, if you are any leader, this would be a great
I
book
think this
to
is,
read.
you could even just dumb it down. If you are a human that needs to interact with people and move through life, you need to read this book.
Yeah. So yeah, enough about the, I think we hyped up the book, but Jamie, let me ask you, like, what was it that impactful? Because I'm with Corlin. It was life-changing for me. What do you think? What was your experience when you first read it?
So 3 things. One, I wish I had my book still. I loaned it out actually. So I lost it like 20 years ago because I wrote in it, I highlighted, I dog-eared the pages. It's probably ripped to shreds. I think a dog actually chewed on it. To be honest with you, but I loaned it out to a friend because I just wanted everyone to read it. So I don't have it. I wish I did. I love that we were forced to read this because it started that great habit of actually reading books that help guide you, give you some guidance. It created a great habit. But throughout my life, anytime I'm feeling discouraged, down, whatever, I will pick this up and read the first chapter and my day changes. Like,
Yeah.
all I need is that first chapter. It's just, and it's not rocket science. I was just telling someone this today. I'm like, it's not like it's rocket science, but it's just like, you know what? Here's some good reminders. Hey, think big. Like if you think it and it happens, you know? So yeah, I've done it so many times where I've just read that first chapter.
So give our listeners, could you give us a little bit of a snippet of what to set the tone of really the gist of what this book is about?
Okay, no, I got you. Listen, so here, and I'm just reading off my notes because I did not only find And I'm not a hoarder, you guys. I'm not the person that keeps things. I throw things away more than anything. But I read some notes and it was really cool to see my notes. But one thing is success is not about intelligence or talent or luck. It's all about how big you think. And this was so impactful for me. I literally had a note in parentheses that said, "Thank God." I almost cried when I read that, seriously. And but that tells you the mindset. And I was more like 18, 19, just starting my career, very low self-esteem, no confidence, completely broken young girl, teen mom. And when I don't know if I read that or that was the whatever, but I just remember thinking, I don't remember writing that, thank God, in parentheses, but I know my thought process then was because I dropped out of high school. So I'm never, to this day, I'm not going to be the smartest person in the room. And really shitty luck. Like my whole life is bad freaking luck. This is what I was thinking then. And I don't have a lot of talent. I don't have a lot of experience. I've never had another job. So what? I can still be successful? Sign me up. So I was so excited. And so that's what the whole premise of this book meant for me, was to just help me know that I can actually create my success in my mind, that I can think big and it will be, that I can know because I know I can do it. I can make it happen. I can manifest it. So that was kind of my big takeaway of the book. Those were like, I guess that was the theme for me overall.
Here, I'll read you this. This is from chapter 1, and this is what it says. It says, think success, don't think failure. And it says, remind yourself regularly that you are better than you think you are. Successful people are not supermen. Success does not require super intellect, and success isn't based on luck. Successful people are just ordinary folks who have developed a belief in themselves and what they do, and they never sell yourself short.
Hell yeah.
You have to believe big. This is all pencil line star by it. And while I'm going through my notes and stuff, I'm thinking of little,
I got to get my old lady glasses.
I know, my little 22-year-old self that was like, I just needed that little boost, like, just like you said, Jess, like, and we probably read this book and had the same thing. Like, yeah, I can do this. 'Cause you'd see people successful. Like, how do they do that? And I just had to change, and it changed my mindset from being, this is a lot, I don't know if I can make it, to flipping the switch and saying, why not me? Why can't I do this? And if it's just, if the difference between me and a super successful person is just mindset, practice, effort, I'm in. Like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And, and it's the best.
Yeah. Because I really did I looked at other people and just thought, these are some lucky why? What, they are just lucky. And I was wrong. But okay, I have some icebreakers. I got to put my old lady glasses on. Don't laugh at me. All right. So biggest, boldest goal that you ever set for yourself, and how did it work out? And I didn't prepare them for these, you guys. So just jump in.
Just Jamie.
Yeah, no, I had a huge goal. When I moved to North Carolina, I was going to start a self-sufficient farm where I grew and raised all of my own food. So I bought a 10-acre piece of land with a home that probably should have been bulldozed, but instead I spent 2 years as a general contractor fixing this house up, and had 8 gardens, goats, ducks, chickens, turkeys, and I was almost there.
Did I know
I was
this?
real close. Well, you probably didn't know all that part about it, but when I lived in North Carolina, like, that was my goal, and I was super close. Life happened, and I ended up moving back to Iowa. But I had that dream, and that is a lofty dream. Like, that was, oh my gosh. I think back, and I'm like,
how close were you?
I had it. I just had to give it up.
Okay, so you had it. You did it.
A breakup happened. So that's why I had to leave. But I'm going to tell you what. I got a piece of paper with a hand-drawn measurements of a house. So, like, here's the length and width of this house, and I had to use that to figure out the plan. I had to design a house using a piece of paper with a hand-drawn measurements and then like general contract, like figure out where the windows were going to go, figure out how to create bedrooms, design the kitchen from
Now, were you already
nothing.
at Direct Buy?
That was
So
after
you've had
Direct
some.
Buy.
Okay, so you had some exposure to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a
Wow.
big dream.
Yeah.
That
And
was
you
a
did
lot.
it. You made me think that you didn't do it. You did it.
I did, but it's like one of those things where you don't even know you're doing it until you're halfway through. And then when you're done, you're like, holy crap.
Like I just
Look what I just did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
That was a big one.
Yeah. Top that, Core.
Oh boy. Well, I did a TED Talk. How about that?
Yes. Oh
That
my gosh.
was
That's
big.
amazing.
That was
That's
a pretty
absolutely
big goal.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about this is that I'll just tell the story really quickly. Is that from our walk, and we've done a lot of public speaking in our days, that I've watched TED Talks and I've just kind of sat in the sidelines and just thought that would be really freaking cool to be able to have that. And some things happened in my life, and I got introduced to somebody who was actually producing a TED Talk here in our town, and he had heard a little bit about what I did professionally, and he had said, and I want to say it was by accident, but I know it was a God thing, right? Is that it was right around COVID, and he had all his lineup in 2020. Well, it got canceled because of COVID, and then it was supposed to happen in 2021. It got canceled, and so then in 2022 was happening, and so he's like, I've got a space, and I want you to do it. And I just remember sitting at the table looking at him, like my heart was like, I want to do this so bad, and then my brain kicks in and it's like, can I do this? Like, that's a lot. That's, memorizing a whole speech, knowing what to say. This is going to be very, very public, and what if I fail? And like all those things happen, and I just sat down. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I want to say yes to this. I can't say no, but can I say yes? Like, I don't know. Well, so you know what I'm saying? And so I said yes, I would do this, and I sat down and I wrote this speech. I'm not even kidding you. I probably rewrote the thing 10 times. I wrote it. I gave it.
That's it?
It was like, yeah, right. It was like 30 minutes long. They're supposed to be less than 18 minutes. And like, it's supposed to be probably around 10 anyways. And so the other thing too, is I remember we went to the meeting, we met all these other speakers, and the coach had said, like, so some people memorize them. Some people just go off the cuff and kind of have their outline as what they do a little bit extemporaneously. And I remember looking around the room as everyone's like, yeah, I'm not going to memorize it. Now I'm not going to memorize it. And I'm just thinking, like, there is no way in the world I'm stepping on that stage and not have this thing back and forth, like memorized to a T.
Right.
We would be driving home from our family's house, and here my husband's like, are you talking to yourself? I'm like, I'm going over my speech. And like, we'd be out walking, and I'm just sitting there, like, every waking moment for like 2 months, I was just going over this thing. And I remember when it was time, I was backstage. They were going through my introduction and going to call my name. And usually anytime that I've done any kind of public speaking, I get that initial like butterflies in your stomach where you just get a little anxious right before you go. And then once I hit the stage, I'm usually fine. I'm sitting back there and I'm waiting for this to kick in, and it never came. Like, I got up and I delivered this talk, and I wasn't nervous like one little second. And
there's a saying about that, but I'll tell you later.
But I was so prepared for this talk that I was like, I got this. And I don't know if I've had that much effort and a goal that I put so much work into, and then seeing it come out on the other end being successful. So
that's super cool. The one thing
what's your saying? No, I gotta know.
No, Google it.
That means it's not good.
So my biggest goal, I'll never forget, I was making probably $6 an hour on the phone. And I just remember looking at all of the salespeople and all the people that were just making a shit ton of money. And at some point, I'm like, I can do that. Like, I can do that. And once I convinced them to allow me to move into sales, which, by the way, was commission only. So we're going to take away your $6 an hour and you're going to be on straight commission.
Mhm.
My first goal was to make $100,000. And then that was, if you make $100,000, you are freaking rich. You are filthy rich. Like that is you have made it. So to even think that I could do such a thing was like,
So big.
so big. And I even had people, my own family were like, that shit ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Exactly. And so I remember my first year, I'll never forget, I made 75,000 and I was so disappointed. I was like, you are a freaking loser. You are and it pushed me even more. And I finally reached that goal and then surpassed it. But yeah, the book had everything to do with it. That was the first thing that really even allowed me to think of myself in a way that I knew that I can do whatever I put my mind to. Okay. Highlights and lessons of the book. What do you guys got?
I have some stuff. Wait, what chapter did you do, Corlin?
She did chapter 1.
It's a
Well,
it's a
I
chapter.
actually, my favorite chapter, I mean, I think chapter 2 is the best, but other than
Yeah.
The
chapter 2
best.
is chapter 3. But I feel like, Jessica, you should kick us off with tell us about chapter 2 and how much those words have like covered everything in our entire training and existence.
How many times have you said to someone chapter
Yes.
2?
Yes.
And nothing else.
Listen, this stuff is so ingrained in me. Like, no, seriously, we joke sometimes and people joke with me, like friends, family, my kids, that I was programmed in the DB world. And maybe I was. And that's okay because I'm better today because of it. So program away. Chapter 2 is titled Excuse-itis. And it talks about it like it's a disease, guys. And it is.
So define it. What is excuse-itis?
Okay, wait. Let me see if I have that in my notes. So, because I want to see. No, I don't. So basically, overall, excuse-itis, the failure disease. Excuses kill ambition. That's the notes that I had, but you can read it since it's in front of you. Did I miss something, Cor?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, really, it's what it sounds. It's like, instead of taking ownership over why something's not working, you're making an excuse.
Right.
So and it's just
I'm too
using
old.
other people, other things, other forces, and not taking ownership and just making a change and doing something about it.
Right. So back then, I remember we did this exercise of like excuses of why I couldn't be successful. And one of the things, because listen, we tell ourselves lies in our head, right? And what I learned is not only do I have to identify the lies that have been, and sometimes it's because our parents said it to us or someone said it to us or we said it to ourselves, but we have to identify the lies. And it's not just identifying the lies, but it's replacing it with the truth. That's the part where I think people leave it out. So as an example, I told myself, I can't do this. All of these other salespeople have fancy degrees and education. I can't do this. I don't have that. Our customers have money. I don't have money. I can't come from money. I don't come from money. What am I going to talk to them about? I'm too young. All of these people that work here are in their 20s. The list went on. But what I learned is that those are all excuses because we're afraid to fail. So we make these excuses for ourselves so that we're okay with failure because all these things are stacked against us. So I had to replace those things and say, you know what? I may not have an education, but I have a good sense of humor and a nice smile. I may not be, whatever that is. I had to really talk myself into every one of us brings something unique to the table. And once we figure out what that is, then we can replace those lies with the truth. And excuse-itis, when I say I raised 4 kids with this, when I say chapter 2, they know exactly what I mean. Get the hell out of here with that excuse because that's all it is. All I say is chapter 2. Even now.
Like today you say it?
I say it today. Sometimes I have people on my team that have not been exposed to it. They're like, what the hell is she talking about chapter 2? And I'm like, oh, you don't know about chapter 2? Okay, we're going to cover that tomorrow. So
You got
yeah.
a book report to do.
Right. So anyway, that's my chapter 2. What's your chapter,
great.
Jamie?
That's awesome.
My chapter, I did chapter 7, manage your environment. So it starts out a little bit. It says like the body is what the body is fed. So in the same token, the mind is what the mind is fed. And the whole chapter talks a lot about just being in control of your environment, right? One of the things it brings up is, so he tells a story about how higher up executives, sometimes they interview the wife. So again, it's a little dated. So they said they interview the wife before they offer the position to the husband because they want to make sure that they have support at home. And one thing I noticed,
that sounds like right out of a Betty Crocker cookbook
I know
from the 60s.
It's dated. It's dated. But I thought about that because the company I work for now, they were pretty adamant about making sure I had support at home. They were like, you know, they and it wasn't awkward at all.
Which I
but
think
they're
it's against the law, but go ahead.
No, they were just like, you know, we want to make sure that you have support at home. This is a challenging job. You know, we want to make sure that you're prepared for this. And it was just something like, I've never had somebody go to that level of like, we want to make sure you're good. We want to make sure you're supported. And it got me thinking about actually when we worked for the company, I had a lot of success there, but to be honest, I was in an abusive relationship most of the time. So it's like I went home and I didn't have support, but I was still successful. I think, oh my gosh, do you imagine how great it would have been if I actually had a supportive person at home? Right?
Well, I don't want to get off on another tangent, but I too spent some years at the company in an abusive relationship. But I feel like that's what drove me harder at work, because when I walked through that door, I had control and I wanted that more. And that's probably how I became a workaholic. But anyway.
One of the other things they brought up is, you know, when you're in the you know, that whole birds of a feather flock together. So the people you surround yourself with. I remember having a couple people in my life that were very comfortable just being status quo. Like they didn't care to improve themselves. They didn't care to be successful. And it was hard to have conversations with them about me wanting to be more successful because they just didn't care about that. And I think now, you know, I look at you guys, I look at my significant other, I look at my coworkers. I love that I have people in my life now that care about me being successful, but also care about themselves being successful. And then also it talked about variety. It talked about making sure that, you know, you are surrounded by people, or you are making that effort to surround yourself with people that come from different backgrounds, have different ideas.
Diversity and inclusion back there in that book, right there. Right there. It wasn't named that, but that's what he was saying.
Yes, because you're learning those new ideas, and you're learning from all these other people's experiences. So I think the gist of it really was having some control over that environment, making sure that you've got support, that you've got people who are as motivated as you are, people who want to succeed and they want you to succeed, but then also having a variety of people in your circle that you can bounce those ideas off of. So that was chapter 7. I loved it. There were so many other things that made me think of you two women in particular.
Yeah.
It was like,
I forgot about that chapter.
Yeah, it brought up, I don't want to talk too long, but it brought up 3 different people. And the third type was like 2% of the world. And it's like, oh, that's Jessica and Corlin. So,
well, thank you.
Man.
Cor,
Totally.
what you got?
That's a high.
It's good.
I remember, so all of those things, and I will just round it up with chapter 3. So this is right after Excusitis chapter. Chapter 3 talks all about having confidence.
Yes, that's my second favorite. I hate
you. This one, if you don't even read the whole book, but you just read chapter 1, 2, and 3, like, and 7, and we'll throw in 7. But
just read the damn book.
Just read the book. But if you read chapter 3, it talks about having confidence, and it puts it against fear, that you're confident or you're scared. And
that's it.
When I read through this book, and again, first time I read this, I was 22, fresh out of college, where you kind of think you know some things, but like really deep down, like I was not confident. Like I could fake it till I made it. But I think what this chapter did, and what reading this and just rethinking this over and over a period of time, it took that fake it till you make it, and it made it like, I don't need to fake it. Like I can be confident with who I am and what I can do. And it's a mindset change, right? And I think the biggest thing that it said in this book is that the way that you solve your fear and you get more confident is through action. Whether that action is a little step or a big step, like you just have to move forward. in some way. And I remember, and I'll tell you this is like totally, I don't know if I've ever told anybody this story before, but why not on a podcast tell you guys?
Why not here?
Why not? I remember this was like maybe I think it was one of our first conferences, no summit, first or second summit, wasn't for the first, maybe a second summit. So this is our big vacation that we all won, sales professionals everywhere, and I've always
top sales professionals, Cora.
But we always go to someplace hot, someplace nice. Everyone's wearing swimsuits, and we're out like on the beach, like just having a ton of fun. And I've always struggled with my weight, plus or minus. Like I've been trying to lose the same 15 pounds since I've been like 16. Like let's be honest. And so I remember like getting ready, and like we're all getting ready in our swimsuits, and I just remember going in the bathroom and having kind of a little like come to Jesus with myself, like, you are not going to walk around this pool like holding your stomach or kind of like wearing a cover up or whatever. Like, you are going to walk down there and be confident, like the person that you are. And just because I remember seeing girls specifically where you can tell they are just not comfortable in their skin, and it is not, it's like the least attractive, right? Like you just like where you're just trying to hide and not stand out. And I'm like, that is not me. And whatever it is, like, I just need to go down there. And I remember like, all right, we get down to the pool. I like take off my swim cover up, and I just did it. And I felt like we had so much fun, and I had fun, and I felt like I could just like, it was like a coming of age a little bit. Like that is not who I am anymore, regardless of what my body looks like, regardless of what everybody else's body looks like. But it was like, it goes back to that mindset of this confidence. Like, it is a decision to do, and then you take an action step to fulfill like yourself. So I just,
amen, sister.
That's it.
Love it.
I love it. Well, I want to give these guys a call to action, we'll call it. And I made some notes here, and I want this to be a takeaway. Listen, whether you read the book, which I really hope that you do, or you just take something from this episode, one concept that you can put into action this week, just one thing. And also, I remember that I began journaling shortly after I read that book too. And again, identifying the areas where I had told lies to myself that were holding me back and replacing that. I really wish that I could find, I probably don't have it, but that journal would be so telling. I can think of things that I said, but journaling, I think identifying those things, replacing the lies with truths and writing them down, looking at them on a daily basis really helps set the tone to change your mindset. What do you ladies have as far as call to actions or takeaways or whatever you want to call them?
Honestly, my takeaway is it's kind of a general one, but really it's just a reminder to get back into reading and working on myself, really, because we all get busy, and I'm not really reading a book right now. And
I'm not.
I think, I mean, that's really it. I need to pick something. And I love the idea of having a book club, Lead Like a Girl book club. That's really mine. I need to get back into this. I need to pick something and make the time to just
be a
hit a chapter.
Self-improvement.
Yes,
there
exactly.
We go. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we need you guys, we need your help to, make some book suggestions. I don't know. Maybe we'll do one like once a quarter, like you said, or start somewhere and then discuss it, because this has been a great reminder and really timely for me, because I've been going through some shit. We'll talk about it later, but just a reminder that I am the shit. And that doesn't mean that I'm cocky. That means I'm confident. And I learned a long time ago what the truth was about myself to replace the lies that I had told myself. So thank you, Core, for this reminder. And what do you have as a takeaway or call to action?
I was, just take your small thinking and throw it out the window, right? We can't live with barriers. We can't live with, I don't think I can, and throw it out the window. And the way that we get more confident is through preparation and through action. I just think like you have to take a step and really work on the things that you want to do, and they become easier, they become better, and you fulfill your own destiny by taking those steps for yourself.
Yes.
I
Think
love that.
big.
Think
Dream
big.
big. Yes, big. And you know what? And something that I want to say one more thing and I'll shut up and we'll go. But I also learned that not just about confidence, like when we don't think big, we also put limitations on God. He made the whole universe. And I'm asking for little shit. Like what? Yeah, I just said God and shit in the same sentence. Yes. But stop.
We're gonna need to pray about that.
Stop limiting not just yourself, but God. So I hope everybody takes that away to think big, dream big, and then just do it. So Lead Like a Girl Lab. Well, look, I don't even know my own website, leadlikeagirllab.com, and check us out on YouTube and on Facebook. We want to hear from you, and on TikTok and all the rest of it. Thanks. And we look forward to seeing you next time on our next episode.